Hello, friends. It's Chapo. This
Okay.
is a terminal case of college addiction here.
You
that is the
cannot come back
opening
from this.
paragraph for a master's dissertation on classics, and you're just like, oh,
What's
my
so
God.
funny is there are people who are obsessed with the idea that wokeness has degraded some sort of scholarly rigor in the academy, and this is the alternative to the woke garbage, which is mostly tedious crap. And but this is the other thing you get: tedious crap. That's all it is, going all the way down. It's ego strokes by people who have too much money and not enough things to do with it.
Also in attendance at this dinner party was Robert P. George, 66, a professor of jurisprudence and the chair once held by the now ignominious Woodrow Wilson. I don't know if we talked about Robert P. George on this show, but I'm just going to read you a little bit of Robert P. George. This is from his. This is what he writes about. In coitus, but not in other forms of sexual contact, a man and a woman's bodies coordinate by way of their sexual organs for the common biological purpose of reproduction. They perform the first step of the complex reproductive process. Thus, their bodies become, in a strong sense, one. They are biologically united and do not merely rub together. In coitus, and only in coitus, similarly to the way in which one's heart, lungs, and other organs form a unity, by coordinating for the biological good of the whole. In this case, the whole is made up of the man and woman as a couple, and the biological good of that whole is their reproduction. So this is the guy that a 27-year-old woman is thrilled to let people know she's spending all of her time socializing with. An ancient man obsessed with coitus. Beaver? He has been called the country's most influential conservative thinker for his role in laying the intellectual groundwork for the fights against marriage equality and abortion rights. He founded the James Madison Program in American Ideals and Institutions, where Ms. Gold is a senior research assistant, and where another dinner guest, Bradford Wilson, 71, is an executive director. Okay, I mean, I gotta say, I'm kind of coming around on Solveig, because she's getting these mummies around to her house who all are in a position to flatter not just her, ego, but career. And she's getting out the sundress. She's she's whopping those cans out. She's got torpedoes in the water. She's just, basically, she's already married to a guy who's 55 years old and looks like the actual Dr. Katz. And now she's getting by, studs like Robert P. George. She's, just giving him a little bit of the old razzle dazzle. And then, wouldn't you know, the New York Times is there to capture every minute of this scintillating dinner party. I mean, could you imagine, I don't know, just another intellectual clicks, just sort of lunch date being being transcribed in this detail?
Right now, I'm imagining a rifle being shoved in my mouth. My brain painting the wall.
Somebody suggested that this piece is supposed to be dry satire or some bullshit, but just the fact of assuming that anyone would have a bare enough interest in these motherfuckers to make that land is giving them far too much credit, and just essentially swallowing their version of reality, even if you think you're doing some sort of clever undermining with understatement or whatever, because no one should know about these people.
I'll just read two more paragraphs here. I mean, I know Felix is we're struggling here, but I just want to read this.
He's taking massive damage right now. His hit points are swirling out the fucking drain, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to use meditation to sever my own spine without contact. When a really horny guy that goes to a strip club and comes without contact, I'm trying to end my own life through sheer meditation. I'm trying to make my body just cut my spinal cord in half before I hear the rest of the story.
Don't give up yet, Felix.
Okay.
At the dinner table, Ms. Gold, wearing a checked kitchen apron over her yellow dress, sat at one end and Dr. Katz at the other. Ms. Gold said a swift prayer. Come, Lord Jesus, be our guest, and let these gifts to us be blessed. And the chilled pea soup was
she's
served.
Christian, too. That's awesome.
Dr. Katz previously had a cultural interest in religion, but her faith has rubbed off on him. I don't think he had ever taken seriously the idea of believing in anything until he started dating me, she said. Both of them had published in First Things, a conservative religious journal founded by her godfather, Richard Newhouse.
It's she really thinks a lot of herself, where she's yeah, actually, he's really religious now, and I saved his soul. It's not the fact that I'm 1/10 his age, And yeah, you got him into Catholicism. There are guys this age who are probably dating 27-year-olds who have gotten into like metalcore for the 27-year-old they married.
You know how we talked about how there's a significant chunk of Americans who would absolutely like positively endorse genocide to protect like going to Cheesecake Factory on a Friday night. There is also a sliver of people who have much more influence and power who willing to do genocide to maintain their fancy little garden parties that are their entire lives. Like her life is this party. It's just a bunch of people humoring her in all of her delusions and never challenging any of them. And she just gets to float through it. And if you take that away from her or people like them, that makes you worthy of death.
Well, Matt, to take that away from her, that's what canceling is.
Yeah.
That's cancel culture. If you take away the tenured positions of her senior citizen husband who fucks his students on a regular basis, I mean, you know,
rich liberals want to have a tea party too. It's the same fucking thing. They're just mirror images of each other.
I would have liked to have known anything except for like the names of these people and like what they do. And it's like, did I need to know like more of these people?
Yeah,
it's just like a fucking endless cycle. There's just always a new fucking asshole who's like, you know, has you know, intellectually crazy dinner parties, and then the 50 people who are like, check this guy out. He's a piece of shit, and it's like, well, like now I know about him.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, now I know about him. Now I can never get him out of my brain unless they invent like the real eternal sunshine surgery where I could forget everyone ever involved in any of this. But no, this is just, it's stuck here forever. It's like when the guy in fucking Tomorrow Never Dies who had the bullet lodged in his brain. The guy who is like the evil version of Nick Denton from Gawker in that James Bond movie.
Says you, Felix, I am going to, as soon as this episode wraps up, going to reenact the last scene from Pi. And that is going to take care of all these people's names. I'm never going to ever think about any of them again.
But wait a second, though. I mean, like, okay, you guys can drill into your skull. You guys can, you know, do some sort of ketamine, LSD, sensory deprivation tank to erase the last half an hour that I've shared with you. I will be trying to get invited to one of Mrs. Solvay's dinner parties because, like, I feel like the disrespect that we're being shown as, like, you know, heterodox, controversial intellectuals is astonishing here.
There's a group of Pakistani conservative intellectuals I know who I think should go to the dinner party.
They would really expose them to some interesting ideas.
I don't even think these people deserve to die. I just like resent knowing about this.
Yeah. How dare you?
Well, yeah. Forgiveness, please, to my co-hosts and friends here. But like, you know, like we should just start having our own dinner parties. You know, how about that?
Absolutely.
How about that? And we're going to invite all the really dangerous thinkers. You know, that the New York Times looks down their nose at,
like Dr. Omar.
Mind of Jason, Dan Quinn,
of course. Yeah. Dan Quinn, yes, of course.
Oh, Dan Quinn had a good new video. You know, he could be at this woman's dinner party because he's back to saying the N-word. Not like calling people that. I mean, yeah, calling people that, but like as friends. You know what I mean? I'm glad to see he's upright.
Well, like I said, just like I will host a dinner party for dangerous canceled intellectuals, but like, you know, I would like respect from the New York Times. I would like a reporter there to document what I serve, what I'm wearing, how my tits look, and you know which 80-year-old mummy has been canceled for what reason or has been put in jail for whatever intellectual crimes. But you know, I just think we need more respect as dangerous heterodox intellectuals, and I would like dinner party invitations to reflect that fact.
Invite Will to your dinner parties, people.
I can cook.
You're silencing him if you don't.
I'm so sick of being canceled. I really am.
It's a heavy burden.